Here with me to discuss this all is the ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Democrat of Maryland, Senator Ben Cardin. Senator, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, it's good to be with you.
So the Washington Post is reporting the CIA has concluded in the secret assessment that Russia intervened in the election specifically to help Donald Trump. I know other intelligence agencies are not so sure that that was the reason they were doing it. As the ranking Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, what can you tell us?
Well, first, I'm glad there's bipartisan interest to make sure that we do an investigation. We need to find out exactly what has happened. What we do know is that Russia hacked us. That we do know. What we do know that they made information available during the election in order to have an impact on our election. What we need to do now is have that type of investigation to find out what we should do about Russia. Russia's not our friend. They have interfered in Europe. They've compromised the boundaries of European countries. They've attacked Europe. Institutions, and now they've attacked America. We've got to take action.
Do you know whether the Russians were purposely trying to sway the election to Donald Trump, or do you think it's more along the lines of they were just trying to undermine confidence in American democracy the way they have done in other countries around the world?
Well, they may very well have done both. They certainly wanted to compromise our democratic institutions. That I think is clear. We've seen that in Europe, where they've really gone after the democratic institutions of Europe. Whether they were trying to elect Donald Trump, that's something we need to take a look at. Clearly, there's been reports that that was part of their motive. We need to find out and then take action. Russia is not our friend. They are very much trying to undermine America. They're a bully. It's a corrupt regime, and we need to stand strong. That's why it was important to work with our European allies to try to isolate Russia, as we did with sanctions. We need to be very strong in our play against Russia.
So here's the response from Donald Trump and the transition team. I want to read this to you. Quote, "These are the same people that said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. The election ended a long time ago in one of the biggest electoral college victories in history. It's now time to move on and make America great again." Fact check, it's not one of the greatest electoral college victories, but he did win the electoral college. Yeah. But what is your response? I've talked to some people in the intelligence community who are very upset about that being the response.
Well, look, we have the best intelligence network in the world. It's critically important that the Trump administration work with our intelligence community in the best interest of America. I was very disappointed and just shocked by what I'm never shocked anymore what Donald Trump says, but we need to make sure that we work with the intelligence community. Let's not be naive. Russia is not our friend. We know that. We know their actions. Look at their actions. Look what they've done in Ukraine. They occupy Crimea. Look what's going on in Moldova and Georgia. Look what's going on as far as their attacks. Whether it's a MiG or a mouse, they're attacking us. We can't be naive about it. We got to use the best intelligence to take action against Russia.
Rex Tillerson, the CEO of ExxonMobil, has emerged as Donald Trump's likely pick for Secretary of State. Trump has praised Tillerson as a world-class player who has done massive deals in Russia. Take a listen.
He's much more than a business executive. I mean, he's a world-class player. He's in charge of, I guess, the largest company in the world. It's been a company that's been unbelievably managed, and to me a great advantage is he knows many of the players and he knows them well. He does massive deals in Russia.
Some of your Republican colleagues have expressed concern about Tillerson as a possible Secretary of State because of his close ties with Vladimir Putin. He even got an award from Russia. What do you think?
Well, what I'm concerned is some of the statements he's made about the sanctions in Russia, that we should ease those. I am concerned about his relationship with Russia. We want to make sure that the Secretary of State is a person who represents America. And once again, Russia is not our friend. They've attacked our allies. They're attacking us through the internet. We need to make sure that the Secretary of State has independence and will represent U.S. interests and are not concerned about commercial interests with Russia over what is our national security interest.
Do you think that Tillerson, if he is nominated, might have confirmation problems?
I'm not going to prejudge a confirmation process. I really do think the members of the Senate need to recognize our independent roles. This is a constitutional responsibility we have on a voice and consent, and we need to make sure we do it in an objective way. But I can tell you, these are questions that are going to be asked, and we want to make sure that the next Secretary of State is going to put America's interests before commercial interests.
All right, Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland, thank you so much. Appreciate your being here today.